Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Y&R Trends. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. That night, the storm swept in over Genoa City with a vengeance, dividing the sky like fissures in the earth and engulfing the skyline in dark clouds. Both windows and nerves trembled as the wind howled against the Abbott mansion's glass walls. There was anxiety within that was unrelated to the weather. Within hours, lives would be irrevocably altered, and a man's frantic cry of "Stop it!" would reverberate through the night, shattering a lethal scheme before it could take another victim. Kyle Abbott had been anxious for days. At first, he was unable to articulate it. A deep hum of dread that something was wrong, a nagging sensation. It wasn't only the odd conduct he had observed in Claire Grace recently, or the mysterious manner in which Holden, her purported confidant, had been prowling the town, posing inquiries that weren't appropriate for light conversation. That gleam of calculating, of something darker beneath the surface, was how they looked at Noah Newman when they believed no one was looking. He was unwilling to accept it. After her terrible past with Jordan's manipulations, Claire had been putting a lot of effort into regaining everyone's trust. Additionally, Holden had arrived in town with the intention of assisting her in rebuilding her life and guiding her toward forgiveness and repentance. However, Kyle's instincts are even more acute than Abbott's. He had a gut feeling that the redemption they were seeking was not genuine, and he would discover how correct he was tonight. He nearly missed the phone call that started it all. As he sat at Society, sipping coffee and looking over some business offers, his phone buzzed across the table. His pulse quickened when he recognized the name. Maria, a private investigator he had secretly recruited a few days prior. "Kyle Abbott," he replied hastily. "Maria here, Mr. Abbott. You had good reason to be skeptical. I discovered something." He stood up straight and gripped the phone more tightly. "What is it?" "Claire Grace and a man by the name of Holden Rutherford have communicated several encrypted messages. For the past week, they have been monitoring Noah Newman's whereabouts. It appears that they drove out close to the old factory district after renting a car and paying cash. According to my informant, they were seen packing a bulky item into the trunk." Kyle's heart ceased to beat. "Something substantial? What do you say?" "I'm saying it doesn't look good," Maria replied glumly. "I believe they have a plan for tonight. And Noah is in danger if he's involved." He felt the words strike him like a blow. He didn't waste any more time. Kyle's mind was a haze of rage and terror by the time he was speeding through Genoa City with rain beating down on his windshield. Noah. Why him of all people? What had Holden and Claire done? What did they intend to do? Every scenario that crossed his thoughts was worse than the one before it. Despite his shortcomings, which included restlessness, impatience, and a constant pursuit of the next great dream, Noah Newman didn't deserve to die. Nobody did. Following the instructions Maria had sent him, he drove quickly past the city boundaries. The factory district, a bare remnant of the town's former industrial existence, was now deserted, with flickering streetlights, puddles reflecting the lightning, and shadows that moved just out of sight. The storm gave it an even more ominous appearance. Then he noticed it. Claire's vehicle, parked close to the warehouse lot's edge, behind a chain-link fence. Kyle felt his heart pound. Turning off the engine, he slipped out into the rain and approached cautiously. His mind was running through the worst-case scenarios, and every sense was awake. Then from within the warehouse, he heard strained, quiet murmurs. Silently, he walked to the side door and looked through a gap. Claire was drenched and trembling as she stood there, but her eyes were wild with resolve rather than fear. Tall and grizzled, Holden loomed next to her, carrying what appeared to be a metal rod and a length of rope. And Noah was a few feet away, bleeding and bewildered, bound to a chair. Kyle felt sick to his stomach. The sound of the rain hitting the metal roof was broken by Holden's words. "Claire, it's too late for him now. He is too knowledgeable. We are unable to go back." Claire's hands were shaking as she hesitated. "I didn't intend for it to get this far. Holden, we were only meant to frighten him." "Not," Holden yelled. "Claire, he was digging. He located the files. Proof of what we did with Jordan's funds. Do you believe he was simply going to leave?" Weakly, Noah raised his head. "This is not necessary for you to do. I will keep it a secret. Promise." Holden gave a smirk. "You think I'll believe that?" Kyle's anger clouded his eyes. He was impatient. His voice reverberated like thunder as he pulled open the door and rushed inside. "Stop it!" Sharp and commanding, the word tore through the air. Claire gasped and whirled around. "Kyle?" Holden squinted his eyes. "You're not supposed to be here." With his clothes drenched and his face a mask of rage, Kyle took another step forward. "Release him. Right now." Holden made a hollow, icy laugh. "You believe that you can just walk in here and give commands?" After ditching Kyle, Claire turns to Jack, and Jack contacts Jill. Editors have picked all of the featured goods and services on their own. On orders placed through its retail connections, soaps.com might get paid a commission, and the retailer might get some auditable data for their records. Victor, Victoria, and Nick are all talking about Kane, so Nikki complains to them about it at the ranch. At least someone understands. The Newmans then go on to reiterate Ashby's warning once more. According to Victor, Jack arrived with a desperate proposition, that they collaborate. Victor explains that he thinks they can use Jill to make Kane vulnerable, and then crush him, which is a slight departure from Jack's perspective. Nikki acknowledges that she fears her husband will take Jack's olive branch and beat him with it after Victoria and Nick have left. He moans, "Why the hell do you care about that? Is Sally able to convince Audra?" Audra tries to discuss her business ideas with Sally at Chancellor Park, where she is prepared for a run, but her friend says Abbott Communications might be back on track. The fact that her friend has returned to Billy does not impress Audra. Sally explains that after giving him an ultimatum, they made progress. Audra believes Sally is trying too hard to persuade herself, and she questions Billy's sincerity. According to Spectra, her eyes are wide open. Audra advises her to separate her career from her partner. Audra is concerned that Billy would micromanage Abbott Communications, as they discuss how it would operate. Even worse, they don't have any money. Audra is annoyed that they are once more at the mercy of men, but Sally is sure that Jack will save them. What is Claire going to tell Kyle? Harrison welcomes Claire, demonstrates his Italian, and gives her a hug in the Abbott estate. The boy hugs Kyle and Claire while they talk about his going back to school. Kyle and Claire remark about how much they've missed Harrison and her new job as they get back from dropping off the kids at school, but the polite talk soon ends. He is unsure of what else he can do to make things better, and wants they could live a regular life together. When Billy makes a request, what will Jack say? Jack tells Jill she looks very well during a video call at Chabot. Assuming Billy is disintegrating once more, she says, "Who is in trouble now and how bad is it?" Jack acknowledges that Kane is to blame for the high stakes. She finds it hard to comprehend why he is viewed as such a danger by everyone. Jack advises her to return quickly to learn more about her surrogate son's activities. Jack cuts the call short when Billy knocks on the door. Billy claims that after Sally gave him a hard talk, he is back on track. By pledging that this will be the final time, he hopes to persuade his brother to invest in Abbott Communications once more. Jack declines. His brother has pushed him too far, but he is sure of Sally. "Your words have lost their meaning," Jack remarks. He doesn't believe Billy will quit playing games or take a back seat. Billy is adamant about making it happen. Jack hopes he has a successful future. How will Nick communicate with Victoria? Nick and Victoria at Society concur that their dad's collaboration with Jack and Jill will not work out. They are talking about how much Billy hates Jill when Kane walks by. Billy, in Nick's opinion, remains a wild card. Nick believes Kane is merely greedy and has nothing better to do, and they question why he is even bothering with this. Turning around, Nick informs Victoria that he and Sharon will be going out of town for a few weeks. Victoria believes that his absence while whatever is going on between Jack and their father is best. How is Billy going to deliver the bad news? After work, Billy discovers Sally and Audra at Crimson Lights. Jack declined to provide them with funding, as Sally properly surmises. Billy tells her, "This isn't over," repeating a sentence we've heard a lot. Will Victor join Jack's team? When Jack gets to the ranch, Nikki has been telling her husband that she fears Jill will support Kane. Jack asks the mustache bluntly if he has given his suggestion any thought. Even though it's disgusting, do they have a deal? What will Claire do next? Claire explains to Kyle at the Abbott estate that this isn't about him or his actions. She's given the people in her life too much authority to dictate to her, and jumped into their relationship too soon. She should make her own mistakes in the world, according to her instincts. He remarks, "It sounds like you're ending our relationship." Although Claire claims it won't be permanent, she needs space to live alone. After crying for 30 seconds at Chancellor Park, Claire pulls out her phone to call her first possible error, Holden, and inquire as to whether his invitation to Los Angeles is still valid. Next 3 weeks of Y&R spoilers: Claire's broken heart, murder mystery, and Victor Crush's competition. The Restless and the young Your Favorite GC residents have unintentionally joined a new reality program at Aristotle Dumas' French estate, according to spoilers for the upcoming 3-week period, June 16th to July 4th. They have to answer quizzes and riddles while navigating a maze on the grounds throughout the week of June 16th to 20th. Victor Newman extinguishes several fires as Claire Newman is on her way to heartbreak. First, let's examine what cunning Dumas is up to. The reality show of Dumas to find out the true identity of the notorious Dumas. The GC crew is in Nice. They will ultimately learn. They are unaware that Kane Ashby, one of their own, is yanking their chains until that point. Lily Winters is going to be shocked to learn that Amanda Sinclair is seeing Kane as both his lawyer and his lover. During the week of June 23rd to 27th, the other party guests will also demand answers. After the major reveal, it looks like Lily and Amanda would fight over the week of June 23rd to 27th, with Amanda supporting her partner. Maneater Audra Charles portrays Kyle Abbott concurrently. Will Jack Abbott's scheme for Kyle to destroy Victor be thwarted by her honey trap? In the meantime, Victor is ecstatic and has many plans to exact revenge on Kyle, Jack, and Billy Abbott. In Nice Whodunit, we expect that a death is discovered at the chateau, and at some point, an exciting whodunit begins. Because his mother, Amy Lewis, had a strange sensation about the trip, some fans believe it will be Damian Kane. An inquiry into the deadly turn in Nice is scheduled for the week of June 30th to July 4th, and it appears that this will be a compelling, lengthy plot with many unexpected turns. Y&R fans are aware of Dumas' identity. Let us know. Y&R fans, do you believe Damian dies? Since he just entered their lives, Amy and Nate Hastings will be devastated. Phyllis Summers is the epitome of play to win, and will stop at nothing to achieve her objectives. Notice this. Phyllis's love life and career are going to be completely upended. Claire is unaware of the challenges Kyle faces with Audra. Will Victor obtain proof of treachery and utilize it to sabotage Claire's relationship? Indeed, perhaps. Trouble for Claire Dum Dum. We predict that cunning Victor included some hidden terms that Kyle is unaware of in the $5 million contract he signed with him in exchange for his commitment to Claire. Explosive. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Victor will demonstrate his superiority once more over the course of the following 3 weeks. Who is angry with him? Don't forget to tune in and learn. Check in to see what's going on with Y&R at the moment. Make us your favorite hotspot by returning frequently for news, updates, and spoilers for The Young and the Restless. The Young and the Restless spoilers. For liars busted, deception leads to couple shakeups and family drama. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that 4 liars will get busted. Some deception will lead to couple shakeups and family drama. So let's talk about which lying characters will get caught and the life changes they'll face. 1. Audra Charles. Now that Audra Charles has decided to accept Victor Newman's offer and ruin Kyle Abbott's relationship with Claire Newman, there's going to be trouble. Audra is trying to convince herself that she can pull this off, but her agreement with Victor is a disaster waiting to happen. Since Audra is lying to Nate Hastings about the true nature of this deal, and the dirty move she's about to make, she could set herself up for heartbreak. Once Audra goes through with this shady plan, Nate will inevitably find out what she really signed on for. Between the lies and this attack on Kyle's personal life, Nate may decide Audra isn't the kind of person he wants to date. 2. Holden Novak. Of course, Holden Novak could play a role in Nate and Audra's potential breakup as well. Since Audra downplayed her intense past romance with Holden as a casual fling, Holden has been backing her up. However, it's clear that Holden is still very into Audra and would like to reunite if possible. At some point, Nate may find out Audra and Holden's history was more passionate and powerful than they've been letting on. That could crush any hope Audra might have of salvaging her relationship with Nate, so she may not be pleased if Holden lets the truth about their past leak. Holden, on the other hand, may think it's time to go all in on winning Audra back. Once everything is out in the open, Holden may pull out all the stops on fighting for an Audra reunion. 3. Victor Newman. Victor normally gets by with most of the lies he tells, but maybe not when it comes to Claire. Y&R spoilers say bad news could be brewing for Victor once his latest scheme comes to light. Since Victor promised Claire he wouldn't sabotage her romance and has now hired Audra to do just that, Claire's going to have a problem with her grandfather's actions. Whether Victor's plot works or not, Claire will eventually discover his deception and lash out over his dirty move. Victor and Claire's grandpa-granddaughter bond should take a serious hit, so we'll see how long it takes Claire to get past this. 4. Nick Newman. Nick Newman keeps insisting that a romantic reunion with Sharon Newman isn't going to happen. Based on everything we've heard from Nick so far, he thinks he's fine being friends and co-parents with Sharon. Nevertheless, Nick may find that he's lying to himself about his destiny. Will Nick ultimately determine that he indeed wants a future with Sharon? One that includes a brand new romantic chapter? There's still time for Nick to have a major realization, so stay tuned for updates on any big shifts that might play out with Sharon following their London trip. Once all the Genoa City liars get busted, the Young and the Restless spoilers say several characters will have to make some new predictions about what their lives are going to look like. CDL is where you want to be for terrific Young and the Restless spoilers, updates and news, so make us your go-to Y&R source.